everybody, it's that time again. It is Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John. And
You're supposed to wait just a little bit because it's supposed to be funny.
No, but it's your birthday celebration. So we're going to wait. We're going to jump right on.
And today, in honor of, here, let's take a sip. I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for a wonderful birthday.
You're welcome.
Ooh. In honor of my birthday, and because someone made a wonderful point. They said, how come you don't promote your own moonshine?
And we're like,
duh. Well, we are here. I don't know if so we are. What we are celebrating with today is John Schneider's Revenue Reserve Blueberry. Blueberry and Everclear. And what I like to do is I like to mix them together. Along those lines, we want to thank our wonderful they're an additional distiller, and we went to the place the other day. It was fantastic. It's beautiful. It's so clean and wonderful, and that, of course, is Limestone Farms.
And they came to Limestone Distillery Farms, Limestone, yay. Thank you. You guys are great.
And they also gave a wonderful donation to the cause, so we were able to raise actually more money than they thought.
Yeah, we exceeded expectations, which is amazing because it goes right to the flood victims. We said in the beginning, look, we're not going to be USAID. We don't want to have it where it's a big administrative fee where the people organizing or go on vacation. Let me tell you something. They worked hard. They just were incredible.
Yep.
My cousin Greg Napier, who kept giving his number out, and he said it was fun, but it worked. You know, around here it's different. Everybody's neighborly, and they want to call. It's not texting. It's not like, what the kids do today. I mean, they want a phone call.
What the cool kids do today. No, we need to actually talk to one another. And by the way, I want to thank everyone who gave a birthday present, from golf balls to green eggs. Green eggs, right?
From the little boys.
From the little wee-haw family. To the Duke sign back there, and this wonderful welcome to Hazard. Got to my hat. From Cody McCarver, by the way.
It was from Appalachia, Kentucky. Kentucky, Appalachia, but they worked so hard. But there are so many. And we're going to thank everybody. We just haven't. It's just been such a whirl.
My hat, my airborne hat, and the belt and the buckle. I mean, it was wonderful. It was so great. But it's been very hectic, so I haven't even had a chance to look at everything yet, because we're also here scouting locations for the show, for the Earls of Perry, and I've been writing that kind of in my spare time. I'll wake up and it'll be like, and I'll write a scene. I wrote a burnout contest scene the other morning that I think you're going to love. It's really great.
Is laughing at himself or laughing at something. I'm like, what's going on? Because there's no television on, no radio, and he's running away. And he's just giggling. Because he loves the scene so much. I don't know what it is. It will be a surprise to me as well. But so happy.
Has to do with a kiss and a slap.
It happens.
Just like that. So we also want to thank all the folks here in town who, someone bought us not really breakfast because it was lunch. I had an open-faced roast beef sandwich at a wonderful restaurant in town, and we want to thank all of our friends at Applebee's. Haven't they been great?
Oh, yeah. That's been because they're next door to where we're staying, and they have been lovely. And in fact, after the concert, it was really, really late. So we had a birthday gathering at the Forum, but then there was the after party, and we just happened to go over, and people were there, and they let us in after 11. And the happy birthday song's still up. Happy birthday, John Schneider. They've been wonderful. But, really, Circle T, when we went to Hazard Country Club, my gosh, that food was so
we played
good.
golf. We did play golf, and that was so much fun. First 3 holes are a bear. They earned their name Hazard. It's a hazardous first 3 holes. It was great. Wonderful time. And the food there is great. Oh, gosh, what's it called? It's a steakhouse.
Oh, 606 Prawn.
606, yeah, 606.
606 Prawn. That's the area code.
It's really great.
But yeah, that food. I mean, we're not lacking for good food around here. That's for sure.
The folks there could not have been nicer. We also had a meal the other day at the senator's house. Senator was out doing important senator business.
Senatorium.
We had a wonderful, wonderful meal
Catered there.
at that house. Homemade baklava. Holy mackerel. It was great. And I think Big John did the roast.
Probably Big John
Ooh,
Stacy.
and the béarnaise sauce. My gosh, it was wonderful.
Big John Stacy has been wonderful. The folks at the Foundation for Appalachia, Kentucky, and we always kind of get the words mixed up a little bit, but it's Foundation, Kentucky, Appalachia, and, you know.
Any way you want to put those words
but
together?
I'm telling you, they've done such a wonderful job. And of course, Tammy Napier, Ignite. I mean, and then the gal who brought you, I don't know if I told you this or not, but they brought up this big eagle. It was cast iron.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And she's in Napier as well.
Where
so
is
that
that?
just tells you it's in the hotel.
Okay,
They're
all right.
keeping
And
it
speaking
for
of
us.
the hotel, we want to thank Mr. Mike
Michael Sims.
because
Yay.
what wonderful
What a great
hospitality
host.
here, allowing us to not only be in the hotel, you know, because we can be a mess. No, be in the hotel, but also to be able to keep Old Blue here in the parking lot. And you know what I think is pretty funny? We are parked right next to the charging stations, so we've got the biggest vehicle in the parking lot that gets about 6 miles to the gallon parked next to the charging stations. But you know where the electricity comes from to charge the electric cars in the charging stations?
Whoa.
What?
Coal?
Butterfly wings. No, I wish it did come from coal. We're trying to figure out how to do that. I think it comes from a very large diesel generator somewhere. So,
Furman? Generators?
that one, Furman Generators. Thank you, Sean. We had a great time with you. You look great. My gosh, he's lost like almost 60
It looks
pounds.
great. And you know,
Excuse me.
And you know what? It's just like you just said. Here's $3,000 worth of generators for folks. We didn't even ask him.
Yeah.
He just offered because he's that kind of guy. Great guy.
And we met some other folks here that have that are manning the trailers where people who lost their homes are staying in. And guess what they need? You know, they don't necessarily have electricity. They can't necessarily set up to the grid, so they're set up to the generator. What?
Generators. No,
Not
great
much. Not
folks.
much slips by you.
We invited them to the concert, and then they had to go work. They had to go to Paducah because the western part.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, our folks and Stephen Curtis Chapman. If you happen to be a fan of the podcast, love you. God bless you. I hope that your native soil wasn't damaged by the recent weather. Great guy.
Yeah.
Stephen and Mary Beth. Love you guys.
And look,
You got to meet them someday.
I can't wait.
One of the greatest singer-songwriters of all time. Won every Christian award there is to win. Entertainer of the Year over and over and over. Just a solid, wonderful guy with a solid, wonderful family.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Just wonderful.
It is wonderful. So you say something.
Thank you. I love you.
You're welcome.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
I mean, we're a couple days later now, but we're still celebrating. It's the birthday week.
It's birthday week.
And I'm
birthday
telling
month.
you, again, people came, it ended up being from 23 states.
And Germany. Thank you,
And
Bert.
Germany, Bert.
Thank you, Bert.
Oh,
Bert
he's
came.
fun.
We had a wonderful time with Bert.
The goal line, we got to mention the goal
We
line.
went downtown to the goal line. Was great. The wait staff there, the bartenders there were fantastic.
And you know,
It's right on the river.
Honey, I'm so sorry. They ended up helping us at the event too. And believe me, that was very hectic and very difficult for those folks because everyone wanted to stay. It was chaos, but good chaos. But still, when you're trying to serve drinks and food and do it all while a concert's coming out,
Cut a birthday cake.
it was challenging. And not only did they have one birthday cake, they had two. Darren Dillo had the moonshine there and bourbon there, and then they brought champagne. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, if you
Top
weren't
notch.
there,
Everything
you
was wonderful.
missed out. This was the event of the century. It was great.
Hopefully, we're going to be able to post a little video from the concert.
I think
Maybe
we post a lot of videos.
I was busy doing the concert, so I don't know. But gosh, it was great. And the cakes were terrific. One was a
beautiful,
carrot cake
beautiful.
because I love carrot cake, and it had that cream cheese dressing, so it wasn't all that sweet.
Frosting.
It was really dressing, frosting.
It's kind of dressing.
Yeah. And then the other cake with the General Lee on it.
Beautiful.
I cut, I'm the birthday boy, so I cut the first piece on both the cakes. When I cut the piece, it was only about that big, and I lifted it up. I thought the knife was stuck.
It was like a
But
pound.
that thing was just that one piece weighed probably nearly a pound. So I picked the whole cake up. It was unbelievable. So dense, so beautiful, so wonderful. I think it was a white cake, like an angel food cake with some orange. It was just great. Everybody, I'm sorry we don't know everybody's name, but everybody who had anything to do with the birthday celebration and the fundraising event at the Forum in Hazard County on April 8th, we thank you. We salute
Thank you so much.
We toast to you, and we're so glad that we can help out. We hear, like I said, they raised more money than they expected to raise.
It'll help a lot of folks. And I have to tell you that when they sent the video of the little boys and their baby sister, you know,
Wee-haw.
Daisy baby,
Wee-haw.
yeah, he goes, wee-haw. And it was late for them, but boy, they loved Bo Duke and they were sweet. That just,
They stayed
I thought
awake.
that just made the night. And that family was adopted, but everybody has been amazing and so supportive. Like, my gosh, thank you for what you're doing. I'm telling you, you cannot come up with a more appreciative community.
No.
And we're so happy to be here. It's been heartwarming, really.
And she said, you know, they're little, and I said, well, I've got a feeling I'm gonna see them a lot. I'm gonna watch them grow. And as I said that, Paul Michael was standing there, who's in
Bo.
Christmas cards.
He's
Little
big
Bo,
now.
Little Bo was there, and he's probably 5'10".
Yeah,
No.
he's tall.
5'10", and I said, look, I went, case in point, I want to prove it to you. When I first met this young man, he was just a little bigger than your boys. And now look at him. So it was really great.
But Miss
Really,
Charla
really great.
Hurt, and I apologize if it's Charla, but Charla Hurt, and I was up because, you know, I've been working kind of late on this thing, and she's like, well, I just wanted to give you a feel-good story, and she's the one that said my little boys, and she sent the video of Yeehaw and them watching Dukes of Hazzard and singing along, and you could even hear the baby sister 10 months in the back. And they've had health problems. And I asked her, I said, may I post this? Because I really think it's a sweet story, but I don't want to do it without your permission. She said, absolutely. So they had to be in the hospital, and I guess both parents, and they've had some health issues. So the boys were alone or with a babysitter or relatives. And the only thing that would keep them from crying and have them settle down is the Dukes of Hazzard. They would play the Dukes of Hazzard because they did that together as a family. And even though they had to go and be in a hospital, when they played the Dukes of Hazzard, they would settle down and be happy and sing along, and that really made a difference. And then the funny thing is, a lot of other people would say, oh, the same with my kids. Oh, the same with my babies. So there's something about the Dukes of Hazzard the little kiddos love. Kiddos of all ages, apparently.
The big kiddos.
So it
yeah.
was nice to meet them.
Yeah, that was really great. And it's wonderful to see that the show still does that now.
Yeah.
You know, I'd heard that back in 1980. Well, the only way we get our kids to start, babies to stop crying is to put on your show. And their first, a lot of times I hear, you know what his first word was? And it's not mama, it's not daddy, it was yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Or in this case, weehaw.
Aw. So cute.
Wonderful,
So
wonderful.
sweet. Great people
Oh.
here. And the concert was amazing. Me and Cody and Keith.
Oh, my
and
gosh,
the
my hat's
band,
off.
I can't even tell you.
Keith was great. The Stars and Bars band, everybody. Zach and Randy and Captain Kurt and Spencer and Cody, of course. What a wonderful job. Thank you so much. It amazes me because we don't do this all that often, although I think we're going to do it more often now. But I said to them after the show, I said, could you imagine if we actually did this a couple of times in a row, how good it would sound? Because it sounded like the record right off the bat.
Oh, it was amazing.
That sound check, it sounded like the record. Sounded like this was our fifth concert of the week, not our first concert in 3 months. So thank you guys. I
And the
appreciate
forum,
it.
the people at the forum, they know their stuff. It was a
The
beautiful
sound,
show. The
here,
sound-
check out this picture that
Yeah.
a friend of ours, a new friend of ours took. This is at the end. Those are the police officers behind me. And look at this picture. My gosh, it looks like a stadium. So wonderful. So this event was, we
Very
wanted it to
special.
be great, but it's a couple of steps higher than
It
great.
is.
Really is. And we just had a little late breakfast, early lunch, and several people came up and said, "Hey, thank you for helping a community." So it's terrific. And then we've been looking for locations, and you know the hardest thing to find is a dirt road.
I don't think it is hard. I think we've just been in town. But people have said there are dirt roads, but look, remember
Well,
when?
what I asked a woman at the hotel. I asked Teresa at the hotel, and she said, "Well, yeah, there is one, but you're not going to take that vehicle up there, are you?" And I said, "Well, it's just a dirt road." She said, "Oh no, it's like a four-wheeler."
Yeah.
We're not looking for a four-wheeler. We're just looking for a road that's not paved, that looks like the roads in Dukes, right?
But we have been talking about this, how Hazard is so beautiful and a rugged, mountain. It's the queen of Appalachia, the city.
It's gorgeous.
So it's the backdrop for the show really is amazing. It doesn't have to be exactly like Dudes. I think it would be better, frankly.
Right.
A lot of that was filmed in California. I think it's better.
Well, no, I know you're not going to find any of that, but I would like to find a dirt road. This is really good, by the way.
Yep, our shine. And it's exciting. Here's the thing. I mean, John is so talented. There's so many things that can be done. So we talk about the concerts,
Just a ham.
TV. Then, they're in the Comic Cons, and everybody. We've got a pile of requests. Many, many, many requests. We're just trying to pick the funnest stuff. I don't want to say easy, but the things that make
sense. She's the one with a college degree.
The funnest. But
thank you, Hanover, for teaching Edie how to speak proper.
Well, I like that word.
Funnest?
We make up our own words all the time. We have a bit of our own language. Yeah, we're having fun and funner all the time. And I want to go back to our friends that made it because, again, 23 states in Germany, but a lot of those folks are the tried and true friends. They're not fans anymore, they're friends.
Yep.
And we appreciate you so much because you really are so supportive. There are different things here and there. On this trip, we were a bit overwhelmed, so some of you were asking, hey, can you do this as a favor? Can you help us out? Whatever. And you know what? Everybody's like, no problem. That's great. We will do whatever you need to do. So thank you. You're really family at this point. We appreciate it. And by the way, more than likely, we're going to have another party in Vegas. Probably, It's not for sure. It's not for sure. But it looks like
it'll be for your birthday.
Yes.
Her
that
birthday.
Weekend. Well, my birthday's November 9th, but we're going to Vegas, baby.
Again, we're going to go back.
The concert will be 8th. I don't remember the dates exactly, but it'll be that weekend. So
we'll play golf on your birthday.
Yeah, why not?
Woohoo! At our favorite place there. It's so terrific.
So John has such a good time with the concert, but we can't do all concerts all the time, local singers. And this is what I tell John.
I got a beautiful birthday gift.
Oh yeah, we got many, but
I did. I got many beautiful birthday gifts, but
more to come on that.
More to come on that, yes. But the one I got from this one over here is absolutely stellar, beautiful, amazing. And I won't tell you exactly what it is, but we've been driving it to and from breakfast every day.
Nice.
And driving it to the golf course. And it's the same color as the motorhome, which is really cool. In fact, we're going to have our dear friend Airbrush Tony do just a little subtle stuff to the side of it, so it has the same kind of swirly as a motorhome. But it is not only is it a I didn't go to college. Is it a Ford Bronco?
I'm a Ford girl. That's what I buy for gifts.
Bronco, but it is a Ford Bronco Raptor.
And it is amazing. And everybody's like, wow. I mean,
it's badass. When I first saw it, I said, well, there's a badass vehicle. And she's going,
mm-hmm. And we will do kind of a fun presentation with the dealership who we love. And they've been great.
Right. But here's a picture. Here's a picture of me and there right there. Check that out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? But yeah, what were you saying?
These folks are great. They're just like whatever we can do, and it's a funny story because they say, "Oh, well, we loaned a vehicle. We're buying one." I think he may have bought one too, but because they're so great to work with, you want to work with them. And it was Aaron Tippin, and we found out he got a van, and we're laughing. Sorry, Mr. Tippin, I don't know you, but we have a Raptor. Tippin. We have a
Raptor.
I
did.
And you got a van.
I did.
So John gave him a hard time, like, well, you think you got something. He goes, oh, yeah, those guys are great, and I love Hazard.
Oh, yeah.
And he got a van, and I'm like, well, we got a Raptor.
Hey, sometimes I saw Get Shorty.
They had a van?
Travolta drove a van in it, and all of a sudden they sold out of vans. It was the first van in the movies that had the sliding doors on both sides.
Oh,
imagine that.
Cool.
All of them do now. None of them did until like 1996.
I mean, nothing to get. Look, if you're a mom, you want a van for all those kiddos. But John Schneider should have a Raptor, and Aaron Tippin, you should at least get
Oh, stop
a
it. Leave Aaron
Mustang,
alone.
something. I'm not.
I'm
Gotta
sure
be
he's
Aaron.
got all kinds of cool cars. By the way, Aaron Tippin also has a winery. So maybe one time, if we ever get into the show where we have guests, maybe we'll see if Aaron will come do the show, and we can talk
Or
about.
not.
I'll separate the two of you since you've insulted him.
I did
And
not insult him. I insulted the band.
You insult a man's
But if
fan.
it's a
You've insulted the
But
man.
if it's a Ford, I can live with it because, again, being a Ford girl. But what I want to say is, the one guy came and he was all about Mopar. No, it's either Mopar or no par.
No car.
And then no car. Okay,
Mopar or no car.
got it. Okay. So anyway, but he looks at the Raptors like, you know what? Even though it's a Ford, it's okay.
That's all right.
I think that's great. So it
I think you
seems
said
to
if
be-
Bo Duke's going to drive something other than a Mopar, that it's that.
yeah. I'm just loyal to Ford, so I love it. And it's like, there will be lots of cars in our life, but as a birthday gift, that it just meant to be.
So
And it
wonderful.
matches a motorhome, and it'll be amazing. And we have just had the best time here, and the people have been so helpful and amazing. And then our friends came from all over, and they've been great. And it was a bit chaotic, and they were very understanding. Things happen in concerts and parties or whatever. And when you're doing a big old gala, I guess. But they were great. They were just supportive of John. And couldn't be nicer, and just have been wonderful. Thank you.
Yep. Fantastic. But before we get out of here, we're going to find a dirt road.
We will.
gotta
I
find a dirt
guarantee you on Hazard, there are a ton of dirt roads. We've just been too
Yep.
busy to get on them.
Found a place that I believe is Dixie's Body Shop. Found a place that I believe is perfect for the Hog's Nest Saloon, right? The Hog's Nest Saloon.
Spelled with two G's.
What?
Spelled with two G's. One or two G's.
Oh, two G's.
Okay. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering.
And Boss Boar has two R's, Boarr. And some beautiful places in downtown. You have to really find places to do car stuff. Like there's a couple of one-way streets. Hazard is one of those towns that eventually, as you're coming down the 2-lane road, it splits off and it's only one
It
way
looks like an F1 track.
for a while.
Because
And
it's kind of like that. It is really cool. John, every time he goes by, he goes, "Oh, this is going to be great for the show."
You're gonna be
I'm
so much
sure
fun.
Hazard will be very accommodating with that. The mayor, by the way, the mayor
Met the
came.
mayor. I got a proclamation and here's a picture of me getting a proclamation from the mayor on stage that night. We also want to thank the folks that did the lighting and the sound. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. I had no idea that the lighting was what it was because that was behind me. And when I saw these
No.
pictures, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
My God, where is that? Who is? Oh, that's me.
it's a beautiful.
It was
venue.
great fun. Beautiful venue.
But tell everyone what the mayor did. What did we get?
I got the key to the city, and we got. I am a duke, and you are.
You're the king of the Dukes.
I'm the
right?
king of the Dukes, right? And you are the Duchess.
Yes.
You
but
are
what else?
and the Queen.
But what else?
Help me.
We're Kentucky Colonel.
Oh, we are Kentucky Colonel.
Which is a big deal, folks. It's a big deal in Kentucky. So I was moved.
Not
by
such
it.
a big deal in Ohio, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal in Kentucky.
It is. And that
So-
was so sweet because it was like Duke and Duchess, but you're king of the Dukes. And then we're both named Kentucky Colonels. And a lot of it's because I was born 13 miles up the road. Now, I was born here. I was born in Napier. And and John will I don't think John believed me.
I was born way down in the Southland.
But when I told John, I said, the Napiers kind of rule that area along with the Combs and some other families. Now, is it true or not? Are they
Absolutely
everywhere?
true. Absolutely true.
They run the place. They run the joint. I mean, and
Yeah, I
they're
should have
the
said,
happiest.
show of hands, how many Napiers do we have out there?
And they're
But I didn't.
And they're the badass people. I mean, they're great. They're great. But if you cross,
Well, they're the
one of
ones
our
that get
family
stuff
members-
done.
Yeah, they're the ones that get stuff done.
They get it done, and if you don't get it done, they'll get you done.
I didn't say it, but John, after being here for a little while, he has figured out that is exactly the case, and they're everywhere. It's great.
Greg, cousin Greg.
Oh my gosh. Really
Wonderful.
We were texting at 2 a.m. in the morning, making sure things were done. We went to bed, 6:30 last night? 7, 8. I mean, it was early. We were so beat.
Well, we watched the Wild Wild West
We did.
because we finished watching Reacher.
Hmm.
Yep.
So good.
Finished Reacher. And still have some more time tunnel to go. It's interesting. We're doing new shows and old shows, kind of one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Reacher, though, I tell you what, Reacher is so hard to stop watching. It's like, now I understand when people say they binge watch. Now, Dukes was always a show, and then the show had nothing to do with the next show. There wasn't a cliffhanger from show to show. There was from for the commercials. Y'all don't go to the refrigerator now. So we were king of the cliffhanger within an hour-long show. But my God, Reacher, like you're watching it, you're going, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, man. And now, you can just go ahead and watch next week. So we watched all 3 seasons over the last month or so. And I think it's great. I'm particularly proud of Alan because Alan was Aquaman on Dukes. And now I think Reacher is the highest rated show on cable. I think it is.
Everyone talked about it.
Yeah.
But I did like the scene that John showed me, the scene where Tom Welling, of course, Clark Kent, going to be Superman. And then all of a sudden, was it Lana or Lori or who?
It was Lois.
Lois, okay.
It was Lois Lane, I think.
Lana or
Lois? Well, there's Lana Lang and Lois Lane. But Alan came out of the water. He went, he saved somebody.
He saved her life.
But
he went underneath and saved her.
But Clark went in as, with his superpowers and was trying to swim to go get her. And this thing went
and Aquaman took him
right
out.
by him. And he was talking to Chloe. And he said, something's going on here. He said, why is that? He said, because I went in there to get her. And this guy swims really good.
Yeah.
And she said, what do you mean? He said, he's faster than I am. And she, of course, knows about his superpowers because at the school, she kind of wrote about them in the beginning. But she was like, And then this guy comes out and
he's huge, but not as big as he is now.
He was swimmer big then. He looked great because I remember.
He's as big as you, honey. Show your muscle.
No.
You have to. It's too good. John has still been doing that electrocution suit every 3 days. And he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So show your muscle. It's so big. Woo! Look at that.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's big.
Pretty good. People are going, oh, stop it, you vain person.
I asked you to, but nobody's going, hey, what's that? But people do ask John about the suit. Like
the suit's great.
They want to get it. I'm still a little scared of it because what if it short circuits? But so far so good.
Is it going to short circuit you and shock you?
Yes.
Well, it's already shocking you. That's what it's supposed to do.
Well, it is.
We've been going to the little gym here too. The gym here is great, by the way. So thank you, Mr. Mike, for that too.
Hampton Inn and Hazard, that's the place.
It's a Hilton. It's a Hilton.
We're Hilton Diamond members. We love Hilton.
Well, I got that through marriage.
Wow.
I was not a Hilton Diamond member.
But now he is.
I was a rest area near you Diamond member.
And you were not a Ford driver either,
Cold,
but now you are.
Well, I've had an expedition.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And an excursion.
Yeah. Well, okay, you got me. You're right. You've had Fords. I love Ford. And
my thought about Fords is Fords, other than a Mustang, they're always just very wonderfully dependable, practical cars. But there's nothing cool about them other than a Mustang.
They're all cool.
But then when they did the Explorer is not a cool car, but it does have a massage, which is cool.
It does.
But then when they came out with the Bronco, because remember I got when the new Challenger first came out, which I think they did that because Ford had done such a great job with the new old styled Mustang. So they came out with a Challenger to try to compete with that, which they've done really, really well. Challenger's a great car, but when that Bronco came out, I thought, now that's cool. But it's too small. Then, when the Raptor came out, it was like,
yep.
Just like I said, when I first saw it, I didn't know it was mine. I saw it, we were eating over at Applebee's, and this truck backs into a parking space, and I saw it over Dee Dee's shoulder. I said, now there's a badass vehicle.
I'm glad you like it.
And she's like,
what was your first car, honey? Your very first car?
74 Ford.
Love it.
Right? Capri. Isn't that a Capri?
I think
Isn't that a Ford Mercury? Ford Lincoln Mercury. 74 Capri. God, I love that little car. It was a 4-speed. If you don't know what a standard shift is, Google it. But that's what it was. Now, back in my day, if you didn't know how to drive a standard shift, then you just weren't cool. And yes, I know the General Lee was an automatic, but there's a whole lot of reasons for that. The Challenger on Earls of Perry is also automatic. The Challenger on Stand On It,
Stand on it.
and Poker Run, they're also automatics because it's easier to do the stunts with them.
Well, I love that was your first car, but my first car was better. And I mentioned this before, but I cool. Love this car. I wish I still had it. My first car was a 66 Ford Mustang convertible baby blue, and let me tell you, everyone wanted it. It was gorgeous. I still wish I still had it. If I find one, I think we'll just have to pick it up.
Was it an automatic, or did you have to shift it?
It was automatic. But I did learn on the stick shift. I did learn to drive on the stick shift. Yeah. I don't know if I could do it anymore. But
you remember. It's funny how you remember. It's like a motorcycle. You remember.
But yeah, it's just been an incredible trip. It's been magical, and everything's gone so well. And
so our next goal is to get all the proper things so that we can tow the Raptor behind the motorhome.
And the motorhome matches the Raptor we set up before, but it's so perfect.
It's worth saying really again.
Great. It's worth saying again.
It's really great. Blue and black with a little silver.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, so what's going on in your world? How are you? Have you been watching the stock market?
Boy, that's been interesting. Tariffs. Hello, tariffs.
I know, but yesterday it had one of the greatest days ever. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what day you're watching this, but it's going to take some adjustment time. And like I said last week, you have to remember there are people out there who desperately want to be right, so they have gargantuan holdings in the stock market. So what I think happened in not yesterday. Yesterday, I'll tell you what I think happened yesterday. That's the one when the Dow went up like 2,900 points. But in the days before that, people were selling off their stocks so that the market would go down. Because that's what happens when people say, you've heard about a sell-off. Well, when people start selling their stocks, they can do that. So if you've got a bunch of cronies that want to manipulate the stock market down, it's not illegal. Manipulate maybe is the wrong.
George Soros.
It's the right word.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's George Soros.
Manipulate.
Allegedly.
Well, but it's George Soros, right. and it's Bill Gates, and it's people who want to prove a point. But here's the thing, because I had somebody say, well, they're not rich. They're not rich because they're stupid. Why would they lose money? Well, they didn't lose money because they rode those stocks all the way up to an inflated price anyway. So when they sold their holdings in whatever they sold their holdings in, Tesla, for example, because everybody was buying Tesla stock for a long time, because as far as the left was concerned, Elon Musk was God's gift to the Green New Deal.
Until,
guess what? So what they did is they sold their holdings off, of which they had thousands and thousands, if not millions of shares. So they probably sold a portion of their holdings off and laughed as the stock market plummeted, while publicly they were, oh, you see, the tariffs, they're bad. The tariffs have nothing to do with the stock market. The stock market is people are confident, so they hold on to their stocks. People are scared, so they sell them. But here's the difference between us and George Soros, is that George, when he sold 1 million shares of XYZ company, he made a couple of $1 billion. So yesterday, when the Dow went up 2,900 points, which is unheard of, why did that happen? That's because people like him now sold at a premium. Now they're buying at a fire sale rate. So they will always make money. So that's what they're doing now. Now, the day after that, it went down a little bit again. But the stock market has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the global economy. Now, the stock market will affect the global economy, but it's not based on anything real. It's based on belief that something is good, so it's based on confidence and fear. That's all it is. So don't let them fool you. Do not let them fool you. There. I watch it and I laugh. I just think it's hysterical.
Well, we get a lot of suggestions about what to do on the show, and I always ask, and I appreciate it. And we do read everything. One person, one friend, said, "Well, maybe you should go around Hazard and just like say, they give stories about Hazard or what they like about the Dukes of Hazard or how that affected them, and make it just a teeny like documentary, like 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever." And I think it might be fun, but people are already doing that. Every day they say, well, and it was kind of like putting the kids to sleep. Or I remember one gal said that, I got in big trouble because on a marker on a new car said, "I love Bo Duke," and they got grounded. She got grounded.
Oh, wow.
Because they marked up the new car in black marker, probably Sharpie or like permanent marker. And she said she'd never been in so much trouble in her life. Other whenever she said, "I love Bo Duke" all over the car. And yeah, that would do it. And
Well, it's been worse if she said Michael Knight.
Well, oh gosh. Yeah. But a lot of.
Sorry, David.
A lot of Dukes of Hazzard stories, but especially around here because Benny thought it was Kentucky. And I've told this story before with John because he's like, well, it was fictional in Georgia. I said, I know. I grew up. Like, my folks are from there. I know the difference between the Hazard with one Z and the Hazard with two Z. But I love it because it's really bringing a lot of nice attention to this area.
Mm-hmm.
And, Cousin Greg said this was like the biggest tourism lure for a very long time. It's really gotten a lot of attention.
Oh, the concert. Yeah, the concert got more people from, you said 22 states.
Yeah, but
Bert.
But even the press and even tourism info and us. Oh, and by the way, we're here, but we live in Madison, Indiana, and they were just voted yet again the best small town in the Midwest, and that's a USA Today poll. So we're very proud of Madison and proud of Mayor Bob.
Mayor Bob. Thank you, Mayor Bob.
And they're dealing with flooding. Fortunately, Hazard missed it this time because they've gotten enough flooding. They've had to deal with a lot. But unfortunately, folks along the river just are they're really getting it. So, lots of good vibes to Madison and Cincinnati, Louisville, and, all the folks that have been flooded. And Western Kentucky's gotten it really bad, too. Just a lot of places in the country, they're suffering. But fortunately, Hazard was skipped over this time. They deserve a break.
They certainly do. We are looking at a building to be the Hog's Nest. It's right on there's their misfortune is going to wind up, at least for a little while, being our gain, because there's a whole series of businesses that are right near the restaurant where we had lunch, where we eat breakfast, that got flooded.
By the river, all these
right on the river. I mean, like you step out the back door and take one step too many, you're in the river, right? You're in the river. So this one place, I think used to be the restaurant we tried to go to the other morning.
France. I always want to say tavern, but I think it's cafe or something. But
yeah, we tried to go there, but it was closed because they got flooded.
Recouping. They were still trying to recover from the flood.
But their original place is what we're looking at for the Hog's Nest. So I'm excited about that. Because what we're going to do, we'd come into town and we would rent some places for a couple of months. We're not going to move in.
Like boot camp. Base camp.
Like base camp. But for the Hog's Nest, for Dixie's Body Shop, there's a place right on where the road is 2-lane, just before it splits into one way, coming into Hazard proper. So we're looking at that. We have a wonderful place I haven't seen yet, but John is supposed to show us that today, that he said would be perfect for Boss Boar's house. But what's so great is all I have to do is I tell people, look, we're not filming the Dukes of Hazzard, but we're filming something that looks a lot like it. Where should we go? What can you show me?
And they know right away.
They know right away. Oh, yeah, it's so-and-so, such and such a place. So it's really going to be terrific. And then finally, after all these years and decades, when somebody looks at the Earls of Perry and talks to somebody from Hazard or from Perry County, they'll say, hey, is that show shot there in Perry County? And they'll be able to say, you bet it is. Mm-hmm. And I want that to happen. I want to be part of the team that makes that happen. And it looks like that's exactly what we're doing.
When you do filming, it is great economic development, and it's also bonding for the community. And people love it. They love to be in shows and to be extras.
Look at those clouds come overhead. Wow. Sorry, the light just keeps changing in here because of the clouds.
It's so beautiful. Oh, Yeah, we
Can't
had.
quite make up its mind today whether
Yeah.
it wants to be cloudy or sunny.
But there's something special about Hazard and about this part of Kentucky, Appalachia, with the mountains. There's a different.
It's community. It's
Well,
community.
no, I'm talking about the look of it. But yeah, that's
Oh, the look
true
of it.
as
Like the
well.
water was green.
It's just magical. It's just so beautiful in a rugged sort of way. And think that the backdrop for the show will be amazing. And they did Next of Kin, and then there was another movie, but I cannot remember the name of it.
Steven Seagal did a movie here.
Yes.
And what's really cool, I don't have any pictures of it right now. But we'll show some more next week. But there's a Hazard is down in a valley, right? So there's a road if you want to skip town, which I never recommend you skip town. But if you're in a hurry, that didn't sound right. I never recommend you don't drive by the local places.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a way here to drive up on the mountainside and look down on Hazard.
So beautiful.
So we're going to use that shot a lot. It's going to look like a drone shot, but it's not. You can just shoot it out the window of your car, which is pretty cool. So, and when you look down, you see the railroad tracks and you see the river and the beautiful bridge, and then you see the town itself. Are you trying to get my attention? Just rub my back.
Yeah.
Which?
Rubbing your back.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm being attentive. I'm being an attentive wife.
Thank you. Ah, that feels good. So we are headed to a dear friend's daughter's birthday party.
The Wallaces, royalty
Wallaces.
of racing.
Yep, they came to see Perfect Crime.
In New
And by
York.
the way, hey, Perfect Crime cast. Hey, castmates. Hey, everybody. We miss you. We think about you every day.
And you know what? New York City is very different than Hazard, Kentucky.
It is.
We love our country. You get everything here. There's no reason to even leave. We talk about it all the time.
Oh, leave the country?
Of that, how we don't really.
Some
need
people
to.
have a reason to leave the country.
Right, but it's so
And
beautiful.
not us.
And there's so much here, and we're just very fortunate to be in the country we live in. And there's so much chaos in other parts of the world, and we are really, really very, very blessed and fortunate.
We are. Do you have any current topics you'd like to discuss or anything?
I'm discussing them now.
This is just like train of thought, like rambling.
It's not rambling. Okay, let me say this.
What's behind me?
People love the podcast. Well, Vicky, she put that together with Bert, with Listens and Bert, whatever, and
Yeah.
Gleason's, and then this was from the Kentucky Appalachia Foundation, and
Right.
I'm like, you're really going to give us something after everything you've done? I mean, and we have gift after gift after gift. People are so generous, and I do want to apologize because a lot of times. This is what happens. It happened with our wedding parties. People just put stuff in the back of the car, and it's like, the cards are over here, the gift is here, and then we don't know who to
It's
thank.
hard to know
And
who
I feel
came,
so bad
who
because
brought what.
that's
Yeah.
what keeps happening. So this time we're trying to keep the cards in the bag and then that they were in, and then especially
Yeah, but we've moved them twice since they were put down.
this
Yeah,
is what
it's
keeps
a
happening. And so anyway, folks, if you've ever given us a gift, we really, really thank you. And people are so generous. They're so generous. We appreciate it, but never feel like you can't say, hey, did you enjoy that? Whatever you gave, we gave you. I mean, because it's just
yeah.
overwhelming. And then when you're at the venue and everybody, let's pick it up. And it keeps happening where it goes in the back and then the cards over here and then we don't know.
Very well meaning people.
Very well meaning.
They will grab all the cards and put them together and all the gifts and put them together.
But this time we tried to keep it together.
Even if there's two gifts and two cards and they're separated,
And then we don't
you
know.
don't know who gave what. You don't know who gave what.
So we welcome you to say, hey, or even ask as a favor, hey, I gave you this. Did you like it or whatever? And that will be wonderful. We have a ton of gifts and bags in the room that we're going to go through. And I know, John, you have like a group of ladies, Phyllis and Mary Lou and Stacy
Yes.
brought it. And they give you gifts every year. This is well before me. These ladies have been with John a long time. And they're excited about you opening, and it's a box of stuff. So we
I
haven't
know
done it
exactly
yet.
where that is.
We know what
It
that
has their
is, just
name
so you
on
know.
it. Has their name on the box.
They've learned.
Yeah.
They get it. Because life can be wonderfully chaotic. But with the gifts, it keeps happening, and hopefully this time we'll get it right. And if we don't, let us know. But thank you. It's just so
Just know
wonderful.
your generosity is greatly appreciated.
Yes.
It was a wonderful birthday. 65. My goodness.
When you're 65.
Oh, speaking of that,
Da, da, da,
at
da.
Applebee's the other night, she was saying that we had this kind of after
After
party because we had
it wasn't really planned. That's just
no, we had some drama with the coach behind the place and the bus and trying to get
we couldn't get out.
anyway, there was some stuff back there.
Yeah.
But Keith Burns and I, the concerts, sound check and then the concert. And I don't do concerts every day, right? So it kind of takes a bit out of your voice. But I tell you what really took it out of me was Keith and I singing along with Don Henley and Glenn Fry with all the Eagles songs that were being played on the jukebox. And there was some folks across the way. Did you film any of that?
Maybe.
Okay, 'cause some folks across the way were filming it, and we were just going for it. And sometimes we sounded great.
The next morning, maybe not.
Sometimes it was just too high, but I was trying, but it was so much fun to sit there with Keith and just try to blast those notes out. It was wonderful. I want to thank him again for coming.
I think we also thank our friends that came because they really had to wait patiently because I'll just say what happened. So we were there, and the people in Hazard loved John so much they just wouldn't leave. They would not leave, and we had the police there, but then they took off and whatever. And then there was the birthday party. So, point being is everyone wanted to be with John, so everything took a little longer. Everything was a bit hectic, but our friends, they just were there waiting patiently.
Yes.
They didn't say a word.
Wonderful
They were
friends.
great.
Thank you so very much.
So I have to say that was really cool. So thank you. And they drove and they flew a long way. They brought gifts.
And if we left before we had a chance to hug your neck and thank you, I sincerely apologize.
John just got tired.
There were some other things going on.
And other things.
With the coach and stuff that was like, have to go address it. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of my 65th birthday. We'd be part of my second 65th.
People were rocking the coach. They were going to turn it over.
108.
I'm joking. That didn't happen. But it was just kind of...
I'd like to see him cry. I'd like to see him
That
cry.
part didn't happen. But
it was great. The band was great. I'm so grateful to have the Stars and Bars band. It was just wonderful. And what else should we talk about? There's got to be some current topics you would like to discuss. I mean, she's the one that was on Fox and did all that stuff.
Yeah, but
she's the one with the Emmy.
Yeah, but now, I just support you and we do our thing. And there's plenty to do. There's a lot of business to be done. So at some point in time, this is something
She refuses to talk about current events.
I don't refuse to talk about current events.
Okay.
I kind of like to steer away from the politics because that's where you get just whacked. Everybody loves you except for that. The liberals hate what he says. And I'm like, okay, we've got enough of that. Do I really need to say more than you do? I don't need to add. You say enough.
It just amazes me because when we're not doing this, you have plenty to add about
I know, but I don't. This is supposed to be entertaining.
I think it's very entertaining.
I know
to talk
you do.
About politics.
I love Donald Trump. I'll say that. I love Hazard, Kentucky. I love Madison, Indiana. I love John Schneider. And I'm just all about love right now. So
How far from where we are right now is J.D. Vance from?
Oh, maybe 20 minutes. Jackson. So
we drove to Jackson the other day.
Yeah, we did. And if you've seen, thank you for bringing that up. Hillbilly Elegy, amazing. So Hillbilly Elegy is a movie about J.D. Vance's childhood. And it was rough. This can be a rough area. And they were very poor and struggled. And his mother had a drug addiction. So Mama took care of him. But it was rough. Really rough. And now the man is president of the United States. And he is from Appalachia.
He's vice president of the United States.
Well, maybe I was thinking for...
You're thinking about 2028.
I'm already had. But yeah.
Me too.
He's vice president. And believe me, we love Donald Trump beyond. And J.D. Vance is amazing. He was a Marine, tough, and he goes over to Europe and says, you're doing it wrong, we're doing it right. And this guy right up the road.
Yeah.
Right up the road.
Right up the holler.
And it is a holler.
It is a holler.
And, and here's the thing. I mean, Hazard, in the coal world, during coal, like the Black Gold Festival, Hazard was if you've seen a Hazard Town Hall, my gosh. I mean,
it's beautiful.
It's Beverly Hills. I mean, it's beautiful.
In fact, here's a picture of it. Check that out.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Look at those
The
columns.
Perry County building, the county courthouse. I think, yeah. And it's all gorgeous. But you go to Jackson and it's a little bit.
Well, they're right at the foot of the mountain, and you can tell that the mountain washed down onto the main road
Little rougher there.
quite a bit. So they're there fixing that up. And again, it's mountain, it's road, and it's a little bit of a hill, and then it's river. So these folks here are working so hard.
They are.
All of the time.
And they just keep getting the water. And my mother, I'm a neighbor, my mother Nancy neighbor, and there were 9 kids in her family. Sometimes they didn't have enough food to eat and was really poor, like J.D. Vance's family. So they're very appreciative people understanding that situation. And Jackson is the area, of course, J.D. Vance, and also where my mother. And she went to Breathitt High School, and they called Breathitt County Bloody Breathitt because turn of the century, they were just shooting each other. I mean, it was rough, really rough. But my point is Hazard versus Jackson. Hazard was sort of the rich people. Okay, well.
It's a coal industry.
Yeah,
coal industry was here.
But Jackson,
This is where they'd go when they went to town.
Well, and here's why.
Kind of like Mount Pilot.
But here's why. See, I mean, there are so many stories here. The show writes itself, and you even could do a movie. Forget Next to Kin. This is next to the real kid. But Breathitt, and I believe it's still a dry county, but it was a dry county. I think it might still be, because in Kentucky, they still have dry counties. Hazard, of course, is not. We can find our liquor here and sell the moonshine. But in Breathitt, I think it's still dry. So they would come to town to get their liquor, or they'd go across the county line. I mean, it's a fascinating world here. I love it. This is in my blood.
Rugged. It's rugged.
It's so rugged.
The one thing that Dukes was not, because we shot it in California, and it's easier to shoot on the flat land. We had hills and things, but once we moved from Georgia to California, it lost its. And I think too, it was not detrimental to the show at all, because that's when it became funny and lighthearted and something that our little wee-haw kiddos could watch. So what we're going to try to do with Earls of Perry is make it both, because we're going to shoot it here, so it is innately going to be, rough and rugged, kind of like what was that show that Justified. Justified, I think, was shot in the hills, at least, or a show I did years ago called Christie. Christie we shot in the mountains of Tennessee, or the hills of Tennessee. Anyway, so it's going to have a bit of a different vibe to it, but it's going to have a different look to it. But it's going to be funny. It's not going to be slapstick. But we're going to jump cars. We're going to have a great time. But we're never going to forget that the river is right over there. And at any time the river gets angry, the river can take it all away. That's what the folks here have to live with.
And I wanted to take John up to see where I was born, which is Home Place Clinic.
Speaking of.
And they do not deliver babies anymore there. And they hadn't for a long time. But now there's a very good reason. What is that?
Because the building washed away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the river took that away.
Troublesome Creek took it away.
Yeah.
So Troublesome,
I love that name. I'm going to put that in the...
Creek will absolutely be named in the show. And look, I mean...
Because it is troublesome.
Yeah. And it's beautiful around here. And look, Next to Kin, and then the Steven Seagal movie. But really, I don't think for a very long time that this area has been featured. And the people are so appreciative. They're so excited. They know what they've got here. That's why, they keep getting floods, but they're not leaving. They love it. It's home. It's beautiful. There's not a prettier part of the country. Our country is gorgeous, but there's something special about Hazard, Breathitt County, Jackson, all of it. The Appalachia is really something, and the people are different, and the accent is different. It's really wonderful. I love it here.
Oh, yeah. A couple times I say, what? What? I'm sorry. What?
In a good way. In a good way.
No, in a good way. But sometimes I just can't quite understand.
But remember the Scots. There are almost all Scot Irish here. So I mean, there's something about how it transformed into this accent, and it's gorgeous, and the people are lovely and warm and friendly. But if you cross them, I feel sorry for you. Not really, because if you cross them, you probably deserve what you're going to get. So
absolutely. I'm going to side on Hazard.
Great.
I'm going to side on the Hazard folk.
Yeah. And
no matter what.
And I think we're pretty much done.
You'll hear a dog bark or something.
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes left, but we may have mentioned it in the past show, but whenever we first wanted to do this, my dear friend Shannon, and she worked for Congressman Hal Rogers, has said, who can we work with where we can make sure the money goes to the right place? We don't want any, and she got it right away, of course. She's one of my Kentucky sisters. So she said, John Stacy, and he's with the foundation.
Right, the Appalachia Foundation.
Yeah, Kentucky. And for sure, they have been great. But the first thing everybody asks, who are your people?
Who are your people?
Very much, because Scots, it's very much a clan mentality. If you're not from the area, they want to know about you, whatever. And as soon as said, oh, my mom was a Napier, I'm a Napier. Oh, okay, all good. Don't worry. Come on in. Whatever you want.
What did they tell us about? I won't say who the actor was, but it's Steven Seagal. He was somewhere here filming the movie that he was filming, and he went. I don't know if it was to.
Isn't it terrible? We don't know or care.
Get a car or something, or get a car fixed. I don't know, but he wound up saying the thing that folks who are famous should never say.
You know who I am?
You know who I am? And the guy said,
who are your people?
I'm not sure, but who are your people?
They don't care.
Because his assumption was that, well, if you don't know, then I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. So it's really a terrific place. I'm looking forward to being here for, I don't know, we're going to do, I hope we're going to do 5 shows. I keep saying that.
Well, we'll
we
see
just
what
did. I'm halfway through the 2nd episode writing, and my experience is once you get 2 under your belt, the 3rd one becomes easier, 4th one's easier. It becomes a little easier to do because you kind of stumble onto the recipe.
But then I don't think we should rush. I mean, if we're not ready to do it, we don't do it. Even if it gets moved back, it gets moved back.
No. Now the hell do you say? No, we're not gonna rush. We're gonna make this show. Well, I'm doing this.
Okay.
And I'm folding clothes.
Oh my gosh, that's
and I want to thank Cody for this. Not only did he give me this hat.
Where are my boots?
But he took my stand on it hat.
What'd you do with my boots?
What did I do with your boots? I folded them up.
That's what he does. He puts everything away and folds it up. He's Jorman.
There's a place for everything and everything in its place. So, Cody also took my stand on it hat, the one I wore last week.
Stand on it.
And he reshaped it. He cleaned it first because it was a mess. And he reshaped it. So thank you, Cody. We got to figure out a way to get back through Dunlap so I can get my stand on it.
Stand on it.
Anyhow, folks, I think that's about all the time we have. Unless you'd like to mention anything about current events.
I am so happy to be in Hazard. That's my current event. And so happy that John had an
hell or high water. We're headed to
amazing birthday. And remember, we had to go through tornadoes and flooding and everything else to get here, but it was so worth it. I hope.
We did.
I hope you think it's worth it. I hope you had a wonderful birthday.
It was fantastic. James West.
James West would always kiss the gal. He'd go and go in.
They do the music cue. Kiss.
Okay, start and then do the angle. No, do the James West.
I just did. I did the James West. Thank you very much. You all take. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
must be a hole in my glass. Look at these cool glasses.
And this was.
Gave us these.
It was a gift.
Was somebody from Matt? Was it Kim and Jeff gave us these?
It was a.
She made a face. I guess.
No. We love these, but it was a gift.
So laughing.
It was a wedding gift, and we don't know who they're from. Let us know.
Because they mixed up the.
They mixed up the cards.
And the gifts.
That always happens.
It might have been Ellie.
Listen.
Might have been Ellie because these are
Ellie Troutman, by the way.
Might be. It wasn't Rhonda because Rhonda's those other great glasses, which I have to buy another one because I broke.
You know, this reminds me. It makes me think. Come on, get happy.
Oh yeah, it's very Partridge Family too.
I was
thinking Ronan Martin's laughing.
Come on, get happy.
We got a dream. We'll be traveling together.
And we are happy.
You all take.
But instead of the Partridge Family bus, we've got this beautiful RV, and now
the Schneider Family
Raptor.
Bus.
What?
The Schneider Family Bus.
That's right.
And the Raptor. So it's really great. Thank you all very much. You have
Any
a wonderful,
suggestions you have, let us know. We love you. Thank you.
Especially current events. Bye.
Bye.
This has been Drinks with John.
And Dee Dee.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Love you.
Weehaw.
Weehaw. We did that. Come on.